This video is to show you how to register in Bookshelf. It's at the Vital Source Bookshelf link. And you don't have to do this in this class, but if you do, well, you don't have to do it because when you go in your eLab account, you can always access your textbook. It will just automatically pop up when you register for the course in eLab, when you register for the QuickBooks 2021 course. However, I like to put the book in my bookshelf because I have other books in there from past classes. And then these books will be accessible to me after the class ends. If I don't have access to eLab anymore, then these books will still be accessible. Plus, you can log in other devices. You can log in at Vital Source instead of logging in eLab. So this is optional to you if you want to do this, but I like to do it because then I have all my books and it doesn't expire for me to be able to read the ebooks in here, okay? So the first thing you want to do is, now this is already after you signed up for eLab and you put the QuickBooks course in there. So that way you already have access to it, but this is in addition to that. So first you go to bookshelf.vitalsource.com and this will pop up. Now you don't have an account yet, so you're not going to put your email and your password. You are going to click at the bottom, you're going to click create a Vital Source account. So you click on that and a form pops up that you need to create to fill out to create your Vital Source account. So first you enter the information, your first name and your last name. You put the email. They are going to email you to confirm. So you make sure you put your right email. And also you use that email to sign in to your bookshelf. And then you create a password. Now make sure when you're creating your password, the total, it has to be at least a total of 8 characters. You have to include at least one uppercase letter. You have to include at least one lowercase letter. And you have to have a special character like exclamation point or question mark or something like that. So they make it so people can't guess your password. So you fill in all the boxes. And then it looks like there isn't more. See how it looks like there isn't more in this form, but if you scroll down, there actually is more under the password and the confirm password. So you scroll underneath and you see you have to do a security question. And I guess that is for if you can't remember your password, you could retrieve your password. So you could pull down the questions. Like I don't have a favorite sport, so I pulled it down and I put, what did I want to be when I grew up? So I don't think you could guess what profession I wanted to be. But anyway, you pull down the question right here, and then you put the answer to the question right here. Now make sure it's simple so that you'll be able to answer the question if you have to. Then you have to click on this checkbox because it's agreeing to the terms of Bookshelf. And when that's all done, then you click on the Create button. So when you click on the Create button, it will tell you to go to your email and to verify. All you have to do is click and say, yes, you're going to confirm. It's me, okay? So this is what it looks like inside my email message. And so I just clicked on confirm your email. Okay, so after you do that, then you go back to VitalSource. So you have to look in the taskbar at the bottom, and you probably have to look for the VitalSource icon or click on the different ones at the bottom till you come back to this screen right here where it says start building your library. Or you might have to click on the Chrome icon or whatever is your browser and choose this screen, start building your library. So now I already had some other books in my library, but I guess that's just what they tell everybody. And now this is when you need that redemption code that we already got. And that's why I kept telling you over and over, save your redemption code, either write it down or print out the page or do something so that you have the redemption code, okay? Now, I think you have it still in the email. If you didn't write it down and you didn't save it, I think you could go back to the email after you did your activation code. I think you can find your redemption code. But that's why I kept repeating for you to save it or write it down. I actually take a snip of it or a print screen, and then I print it out. So now you are going to redeem. So you click on redeem on this screen that pops up. After that, then this screen pops up. Well, it's the same screen, but a window pops up. And the window says redeem code. So this is where you put your code. And so you type it in. After you type in the code and it has some dashes and numbers and letters, then you click on redeem, okay? So after you redeem it, the textbook should pop up in your library. That's why they call this a bookshelf, because you could get more than one book. Now, if this is your first class, you'll only have one book. You'll only have this book that's showing on the screen. But I actually have several books because I've taught in past classes, and so they don't get rid of them once your class ends if you put it in your bookshelf, okay? So now it pops up and it says you may already have some books from another class. Okay, so you're done and you saw the book. And so now you could access your ebook. You could double click on the book and you could actually start reading it if you want. Now, what's good about using the ebook instead of the textbook, because you're going to get both, is that they have a way to highlight words, and they also let you put notes. So the way that you do it is after you open up your book, and let's say you want to highlight a sentence, you click and you drag and it's highlighted and a little window pops up and it shows colors. And I always highlight in yellow. So I click on the yellow circle and you could see that there's also a place for notes, and the notes go on the right side of the book. So the notes go right near where you highlighted the words. So that's what's good about it. Now, also on my textbook, I also like to write words and use a real highlighter. So you actually could do it either way. You might want to use your textbook during class so you won't have to have so many windows open. Because when I teach on Zoom, you need to have the Zoom window open, and you also need to have the window open. If I ask you to do something, you have to have that window open. So you may not want to have a third window open with your book. That's why I like to use the textbook, so I don't have to have 3 windows open. But when I'm first reading the textbook, like you'll have to read some stuff on your own, I like to use the digital book and I highlight it. So now the book is in your library, in your bookshelf, they call it. So let's say you closed it out and the next day you want to go in, or with another device, a laptop, even an iPad, you could install the app. I went in on my browser, but it didn't work that well. You have to, I think you have to use the app. So you have to install the app for the bookshelf. And my iPad was actually too old, so it wouldn't do it. I have to update the iOS on my iPad. So if you want to access it, you click on this link, bookshelf.vitalsource.com user sign in. Now you might want to click on this. I have a slideshow where the links, you could click on the links on this video. You can't click on the links. But after you click on the link and you get there, bookmark it. Okay, on my bookmarks bar up at the top, I have my signing into Canvas bookmarked. I have my signing into eLab bookmarked, and I have my signing into VitalSource bookmarked so that I can easily sign into all three on my computer. So when you go to sign in, now you already have an account. This might look familiar. It was the very first slide, but back then we didn't have an account yet. So we clicked on create an account. But now you created an account with your email and your password, and you put them in and you do sign in, and then you're back and you could see your ebook. Okay. So that's the end. And this, remember, this is optional, but I do it so that I have the textbook in my bookshelf. It's separate from Labyrinth. It's called VitalSource, but I can access it with any of my devices. So that's the end of this video. I hope you learned how to access your book in your bookshelf, and let me know if you have any questions.